All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the General Greene here at islandproject.com. Welcome to Bali Booyah! That was a freaking X! All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is General Greene. I'm in beautiful Bali Booyah today. And we're just having a restful, kind of lazy last couple of days. Been pushing it pretty hard in Japan, Singapore, Thailand. The list goes on and on. Now I'm in beautiful Bali Booyah. And yeah, just some positive feedback. Bali has weather closest to Maui. So all the other places I've visited so far have been a lot more humid and a lot hotter. But Bali not only has similar plant life to Hawaii, has banana trees, it has beautiful tuberoses, plumerias, which are my favorite. It has the same weather of low humidity. So if you like Hawaii, you'll love Bali. I encourage you to come visit. We've got some surfers out behind me. You can see right now. And they just celebrated Independence Day, for those of you that don't know. So they had huge parties on the beach a couple days ago. You could hear the music pumping left and right. But I'm gonna update you again on what's going on worldwide, because a lot of you probably aren't gonna wanna hear what I'm about to say, because the big event hasn't even happened yet, ladies and gentlemen. The big event isn't even here, and it's going to shock the world. You'll notice it in the mainstream media. They're sowing a lot of division right now. They're sowing a lot of division against Christians. They're sowing a lot of division against Jews. We've seen this with Candace Owens recently, Dan Bilzerian, other social influencer figures. Well, they're sowing that division for a reason, because we're ramping up for the biggest World War III event that you've ever seen in the Middle East. And they've got to craft a narrative to support the cause, if you know what I mean, and to increase public support by sowing division, divide and conquer, so they can justify the heinous events that are coming. And they will be heinous. Now, again, all this commentary that you hear from Candace Owens and others, you know, some of it is based on truth. Like, for example, the USS Liberty, which was attacked by Israel, but they said it was a mistake. Many of the survivors said they didn't think it was a mistake. And so there's a debate around that. But my point is that division and the hateful rhetoric that you're seeing is all being engineered for a reason, because they have a bigger plan for these events. Now, in addition to that, not only are we facing a giant economic collapse, the worst I think that we'll experience since 1929, and I'm expecting it to be much worse. I'm expecting full destabilization in the United States. I'm expecting total chaos. I'm expecting continued hyperinflation. I'm expecting the worst of the worst. And I don't think that a lot of people are going to take action, to be honest, until that happens. Kind of like 2008 and 09. That's what it took before people got politically motivated and started to figure out that something was wrong. You know, after the wealth transfer, after the big event, after the trillions of dollars of bank bailouts, after all their money was stolen, their entire life's work. We saw companies go out of business. I mean, we saw Bear Stearns collapse, and Merrill Lynch, which I was working for at the time, but it got a bailout. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, American Express. The list goes on and on. So I think it's going to take something really bad before people wake up, before people actually start resisting. You know, I was reading today about America's militias, which we have a lot of beautiful militias in Arizona and our patriot states like Texas. Well, if you haven't joined one yet, you should, because you're going to need those guys. They're the real patriots in the United States. Real patriots in the United States know what's up. They know what we're facing right now, folks. They get it. They understand that the political establishment is a fraud and is being actively destabilized by the elites for a reason. because that's how you overthrow a country. I mean, again, I've been telling you, it's much more apparent as I've been traveling overseas. None of these other countries sow division among their people. Like, for example, in the United States, it's all about DEI, diversity, equity, I think it is, and inclusion. It's about the topics I'm not allowed to discuss. It's about right-left politics. It's about Christians versus Jews right now. I mean, you don't see any of this division in any of these other countries. I didn't see it in Japan. I didn't see it in Thailand, booyah. I certainly don't see it here in Bali. I didn't see it in Singapore at all. I only see it in the United States. So why? Why is that happening? It's because America has been targeted. America has been targeted. And those in power and those that are in control are actively destabilizing and overthrowing the United States for a reason. Now, I also wanted to comment, as you take in this beautiful view behind me, it's very peaceful out here. I mean, just listen, let's just take a moment here for a second. So peaceful. But I also wanted to comment on the fact that the DNC convention is tomorrow. Guess who the major headliner speaker is going to be? Michelle O. Yeah, what did the general tell you? There's a high likelihood that Michelle Obama, Big Mike, is going to be the DNC nominee. Now, we'll see if that happens, but I'll tell you this. If something happens to Kamala, like if she goes suddenly, or there's a JFK event, or like, I don't know, she goes in her sleep, or even if something happens, it's like she just drops out or something, we know what really happened, because the Obamas are essentially the Democratic Party. Now, they're controlled puppets as well, but they represent the factions of the cabal that are actively destabilizing the U.S. Again, Biden never would have been placed as the fake president, as a stooge, of which they could use and abuse. Let me grab my water, unless that was the game plan to destabilize and use an empty vessel to overthrow the United States. They never, ever would have placed him there. They just wouldn't have done it. And Kamala, the only reason she's the nominee, because the Democratic Party actively rigged his replacement by selling the lie that he didn't have dementia and Alzheimer's, but now he does. And so they were shocked by his health condition, and they had to replace him with Kamala. It's absolutely ludicrous, guys. So I'm not going to be surprised what happens. I'm not going to be surprised if Michelle Obama suddenly replaces Kamala. I'm not going to be surprised about anything. And that's kind of my point. The big event hasn't happened yet. You're going to be shocked. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is now. Honestly, I want things to play out because, I've predicted all of this in recent decades for nearly going on 20 years. I've told you these people are fake. I've told you that these plants and the fake alt media are there just to sow division. Like, if you notice, I don't sow division. I sow peace and love and happiness and joy. I'm not ranting about various sects of people or, just helping to create more chaos like these other figures are, which is what they're doing, because again, America is being actively destabilized. And it's very easy to see this when you go anywhere else in the world. It's just so obvious, folks, that, people just have been duped. They're really just watching a form of entertainment is what they're doing. And they're not watching any kind of reality like what you see here before me. I mean, this is real. Here, let's come down here for a minute. Let's check this out. The tide is actually pretty high right now. Try not to fall over here since I'm carrying a water of glass, plus a lot of other things. So here, I'll jump down. There we go. This is real. Look at this. Absolutely ridiculous. Beautiful beach, beautiful surfing, privacy, some parties, good food. So it's going to be big, guys. What they've got planned the heinous events that they've got planned. They've got that monkey V spreading around right now. You know what that is, dude. Prepare for lockdowns 2.0. Like I told you, they're not going to stop with that. That's freaking just the beginning, guys. That's just the start of what they have planned for all of you tuning in. Your compliance assures your slavery. It assures your tyranny. Keeping your money in the banks assures your family will be broke due to hyperinflation and bank runs in the United States in the very near future. The fact that you haven't activated more meaningfully assures the destruction of the United States of America, and real patriots know the truth. Like you tuning in. My amazing members, my ballers at islandproject.com. Those of you that have been following me from the days of Greene, man. You've been following me from the very beginning. You've been following the general. You know that I speak truth. You know that I speak what's real. You know that I do what I say. And I'm just warning you guys that the big event hasn't even happened yet. So are you prepared? Are you ready? Are you joining like minds and like forces? Do you have your money out of the banks? Gold has since skyrocketed to new all-time highs. I've gotten a number of emails just in the last few days, people thanking me for selling them gold in the past. Years and years ago, I've been selling gold for like 10 years. Like, thank you, Christopher. I've made more money purchasing your gold than I ever thought that I would. New all-time highs, because it's the canary in the coal mine, folks. It's the canary in the coal mine. America is collapsing. Fiat is over. It's worthless. You're being actively destabilized in the United States. These fake influencers are sowing division to destroy the USA. Wake up. And again, you see this in so many respects as I travel the world, and I see that even socialist countries that are much more socialist seem to be operating better than the USA. Like, the food's better, and the only reason it looks good, capitalism is the best structure, but the only reason it looks good in comparison is because they got rid of capitalism. Ever since they declared bailouts and TARP funds and manipulation at the central bank and ripped everybody off in 2008-09, we haven't had capitalism. And as they introduce and they continue to introduce this Ponzi scheme of Social Security and Medicare and the massive $35 trillion debt, we no longer have capitalism. So at least in these other countries like Japan, which are a lot more socialist, it actually looks pretty good. You know, there's like free universal health care in Japan. They don't have to pay for their surgeries or their doctor's appointments, and the people are healthy, and they actually feed them really clean food. My best meal was a $10 meal of Wagyu steak in Tokyo. It was $10, and it was better than anything I would get in the States. Same thing here in Bali. Same thing in Singapore. I mean, again, all it takes to wake up is to do a little traveling, get out of your box. Look at how incredible this is. That's why I just walked down. Okay, see things a little differently. Get a perspective outside of America, and you'll see what these creeps and criminals are doing and how they're actually winning. The American people haven't been smart enough yet to figure it out. Not you. Again, I know you guys know what's up, but the American people in general are focused more on sowing division and following fake figures and unreality and entertainment than they are actually saving the country, doing something positive, building something new, improving their lives, which is everything, of course, what we stand for here at islandproject.com in this beautiful view that I hope you take in today. And listen for a minute. What if I told you that you could own this for just $30,000? That you could own the best portfolio of real estate for just 30 units or 30K along with us with no bank debt? What if I told you could change your life in this moment by clicking the link below, texting or calling my dad at 808-442-2934? What if I told you, like the Dodge family who just came in with 150 units into islandproject.com, that you could change your life like them? You could get some use cash flows, capital gains, and our 1000x tokenization. More importantly, you could hear this. You could stand for freedom. You could have a little peace and prosperity in your life. You could join other Christians in like minds and take your power back. What if that was possible? What if somebody had already built the digital Noah's Ark commanded by God called the General? Would you get in? Would you click that link below? Would you talk to Papa John? Of course you would. What if I told you we'd already built it? That we've deployed and raised $33.5 million of no bank debt asset real estate in the best locations in the world? Would you click the link below? Of course you would. Of course you would talk to my dad. What if I told you that there was going to be an economic collapse in the United States? World War III. What if I told you that there was going to be bank runs? That Iran was going to attack Israel? That your money would be worth nothing in fiat? That gold would continue to skyrocket? That Bitcoin would trade above $1 million? Would you click the link below? Of course you would. What if I told you that we only kneel for Jesus Christ and we are faith in God first? Would you click the link below? Yes, you would. Hallelujah. You would. All of those questions I just asked are the truth. It's what we've built. It's what we've already done. We own property now in Maui, Oahu, Kapalua, Kanapali, Waikiki, Park City, Deer Valley, soon to be Thailand, Bali, Singapore, and Tokyo as we expand all across Southeast Asia and a couple other secret locations I haven't mentioned yet. We are 95% funded. It's truly your last opportunity to get in with the General and Papa John today at islandproject.com. You have minimum time left, ladies and gentlemen, to get in before World War III. So I tell you today, as an order from General Greene, to take action. Stop sowing division. Stop sowing hate. Love each other. Do something positive. Do something right with your life, your money, your families, your businesses, your investments. Take action and eliminate the noise and the distractions and the fear that the media is pushing and groupthink and what people are commonly thinking is popular or, you know, what is just entertainment, and take in and have a little freaking peace in your life, man, before it's too late. Before you never get a chance to smell the roses and hear the whisper and the sound and the wind and the harmony of God. I love you all. The big event hasn't happened yet, folks. It hasn't happened yet. The world will be shocked.